In college, I'd say some of the first things I started a student group. Then I started the textbook exchange, where you could swap books with other friends, so kind of like eBay for free with books, and we ended up merging. It was a takeover with comegetused.com, collegeup.org. It was actually really interesting. It was supposed to be a Craigslist for college students, and then I posted it, and there wasn't before Facebook or anything. No one was using it whatsoever, and then we just added a hot or not to it, and then people started using it. I think you have to notice what things you already have advantages of and what things you already know around you. So I already saw all these freshmen at Berkeley that I'm like, man, you're pretty smart and you can't get any summer jobs. So I brought in all these freshman interns, and I went to local businesses and I said, we would help you with your marketing. And that became HFG Consulting. And one of the interns actually came to me and was like, hey, we're doing this consulting for small businesses. Why don't we do a student discount card? His name was Kenny. And I was like, you're Asian, let's call it Ninja Card. And Ninja Card ended up launching it, got to 5 campuses, made around 50,000 bucks.
My first one was houseofrave.com, and that actually kind of worked. So then I did Facebook profile. When that came out, I did ASCII art for Facebook. So I remember it, 10-point to Mahoma font, and you could make balloons and stuff and post on people's walls before they had pictures. I did the bottled water experiment, so we sold bottled water on the side of the road. I tried to get homeless people to sell it, and we did it in a large scale, so we got 10 different people to do it. I did the homeless experiment, kind of for fun. I did resumite.com, resume websites. The way I got into college was I made NevilleMedora.com, and it had my college resume on it, which was way better than the one I could submit. So I made Resumite, resume websites for grad students and law students, which was kind of blogger templates. So I had trouble finding free blogger templates. Now you can find that everywhere. So I had a site that was called fancyblog.com. And I spent every night adding blog templates in zip format and stuff like that. Oh, I had bodymonkey.com. That was another one. And so that was kind of like House of Rave, but for more generic business items. And it made money every month for a long time, then I eventually shut it down. But yeah, there's so many dumb little things like that. Dude, it's endless.
Yeah. Remember when we were at that conference in Maryland where I was depressed before I went to India?
Yeah.
So at that conference, I wrote business ideas on a postcard.
Yeah.
And then I put on Twitter hey, I'm selling business ideas for $5. And then people bought them. And I thought they were really good ideas, and they're also business quotes. And it was handwritten, it's really nice. And then I mailed it to people, and I was like, dude, how great was that? Are you guys ready to buy more? And they're like, that was shitty.
I sold my notes in college. I was a bad student, but I took great notes. And I would sell them at the end of the semester on PayPal through Blackboard. Remember Blackboard? I guess it still exists. And one teacher threatened to sue me. But the other ones thought it was cool. My business professor, she thought it was amazing and loved the idea.
I did, I still have it. You can check it out, freecalls2.com. You seen this?
No.
It's a free calling website to find voice over IP providers. So I found this guy, Omaric, to write $5 articles, and then I have Google AdSense on it. I still think I make about $100 a month.
Oh, I tried a thing. Do you know I tried to do the $1 Million Project?
Oh, did you do
and
that?
I negotiated my first domain, and I bought it for $250, and I thought
What's the domain?
I think it's the $1 Million Experiment or the $1 Million Project or something like that. And it was just the dumbest thing ever. And I thought I was going to do this thing where I make a blog that makes $1 million, and I got all excited about it for a week, and then I was like, this is dumb.
What other dumbass shit have we done?
Power washing homes, spray painting the numbers on sidewalk things.
I really needed help setting up all my home automation shit. There's a Nest now, and there's these cameras, and there's your lights and all this other shit. It'd just be nicer to have more people able to help set that stuff up. Dude, you know what's a huge thing that is needed? I don't think there's really good assistants. I have my assistant Jamie, who I love, but I've talked to other people man, you can do this with an assistant and that. I really wish there's a good service or good person that I could recommend for assistant.
Huh.
Do you even have a good assistant now?
Yeah. Really good. I'm not saying.
No.
Yeah.
If you notice with us, it's we start something and start something and start something. Even me, all of this where I'm at today started because when I was at mint.com at night, the Facebook platform opened up, and I just copied it and I made Hockey Fan. That's what started everything to where I'm at now, 10 years later.
What do you think of this? If I had to start over and I was 17, 18, I would try my best to get a job at some really hot brand, Slack, Google, Facebook, Apple. I don't know, being an intern or something like that. But do you think having that name early on, really gets your foot out there? Because you worked at Facebook, hasn't that opened doors for you?
It's definitely helped. I think one other alternative way is you can go to a site like appsumo.com or Product Hunt and see kind of newer companies that don't have as much exposure but are starting out, and then you just go tell them things you're gonna go do for them. Hey guys, I'm gonna help grow you on my college campus. Hey, I'm gonna go recruit people to come drive for you guys, whatever it is, because there's a lot better chance of getting in and helping them versus a company like ours or a company bigger Slack or even Microsoft or Facebook. Well, those guys are actually accessible and they need the help, and they're more open for you coming in as a intern or like lower level person.
What if you don't live near all these big companies?
The fucking internet or move.
Move, yeah.
I mean, Tim Ferriss said it. If I'm not in the Bay Area, but I really want to grow my network and just create a very large tech company, he's like, you move.
Yeah.
He's like, you go to where it is. That's it, change your geography. I think one of the things that I like about how my career worked is like, I was in the Bay Area for like core of it, and then like now I moved to Austin and I have to get more of that balance.
But you have that, like, it's one of those things, I wouldn't say jealous, but I was just like, wow, you really built up a huge network just by your geography of living in that little 7x7 thing, yeah.
The other thing that you can do, especially no matter what area you're in, and you can meet a lot of these not known people that are making a lot of money by just setting up events. So set up a lunch, set up like a meetup, set up like an activity, like, hey, let's all go do something. And look, you'll spend $100 on it, or some actually pretty small amount to be able to build relationships with the people.
College, I had 10 different things going on.
That's actually very true. In college, after college, I was like, I had my Entrepreneur 27 conferences, and then I had like meetups, and then I had like Mint, and it's eventually you're like, okay, what's really working, and how do I just do more of that?
Yeah, people would tell me to focus. They'd be like, dude, you're not Superman, but you think you are. I remember having 10 different to-do lists on my wall, and I was proud of that. I was like, I just have so much stuff to do. That's great. I just thought that was like the equivalent of success.
Well, coming back to that, it's funny because I was talking with Chris yesterday on the content team at Sumo, and he's like, man, I feel like there's a lot of shit going on. And I was like, that's a really good point. And how we simplified it was just like, what's the main goal? Of the things you're doing, what is really gonna move the needle on that main goal? And everything else, let's cut it for now.
Although I think in college, it's interesting, like you don't know anything when you're in college. You're young, you're still learning the world, blah, blah, blah. You think everything revolves around college because you're in college. And so if you do a bunch of things, you quickly realize what you don't like and what doesn't work.
Totally.
And you don't know what will work and what you will like because you haven't done it all.
No, it's like go to the buffet of life, try all the dishes and see which one you wanna enjoy.
I like the spaghetti at a wall analogy. I've always liked that one. It's cliche, you throw spaghetti at a wall, see what sticks. But I thought that was kind of nice.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think we're good.